doing that, bringing this forward. I believe this is an extremely important thing to do because the assaults on our rights have been escalating over quite a long time, and as a number of folks have pointed out, including Judge Forrest, who is an Obama appointee, and courageously had an opinion that said that they were overstepping their bounds, and she said the government attorneys in this court case that was brought by a group of journalists called Freedom 7, the government attorneys would not even specify what you would do to fall under this and to be indefinitely detained. And she said that's just horrifying. Where James Madison dealt with that, he said the law has to be simple, it has to be understandable, and people have to know what it is that you do that would violate the law, so-called. It violates the supremacy clause of the Constitution. Of course, it says only the constitutional laws made pursuant thereof are actually the laws of the land. It violates the First, Second, Fourth, Fifth Amendments, the Ninth and Tenth Amendments as well. This idea that we're going to declare our country a battlefield and say you're now under the law of war means that the constitutional protections that were fought for at great cost over centuries would be wiped away. And the definition of who's a terrorist, I mean, it's just up to somebody's whim, and we've already seen where, for instance, there was an administration, or he was the auto czar at the time, Ratner was his name, and he said that anybody who was a Tea Party fighting against raising the debt level was the equivalent of a terrorist in Times Square with dynamite strapped to his back. This is a horrible situation. And we know that a lot of times, if you just criticize the president, his minions will say, oh, well, you must be a racist. And some of them even call people who stand up for the Constitution terrorists. They call the veterans terrorists. They call homeschoolers terrorists. No one is safe with this kind of thing standing here. And that's why it would be so heartwarming and so important for the 11th District to take a principled stand. And I'm glad to hear that you folks are doing this. I think it's wonderful, and I'd be happy to answer any questions anybody might have.
I do happen to have a question for you. I know in previous conversations we asked you to reach out to the Congressman's office for their position on this, saying that Congressman Benevolio not once but twice voted to fund the NDAA through 2015, and his attempt to have sponsorship for legislation that you believe was unconstitutional. Does this go against?
This goes probably farther than I think he had sought. He was concerned about this issue. We talked about this.
That's why
right.
I'm concerned that we as a committee may be going against our